Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and some more Battlefront 2 news. The AMA on Reddit was just concluded with Paul, Dennis and John from DICE. And they answered a lot of questions. Some of the answers kind of overlap each other, so I'm gonna try to pick out the most important parts and bring them up here in case you missed AMA, but I'll also link it in the description below if you want to read the full one for yourself. Some answers were more vague than others, but we did also get some specifics that we now know are coming to the game, and I think the one thing that they dodged the most was any comments regarding pay to progress, pay to win and microtransactions in general, but I get the feeling that none of them were allowed to comment on that, and I feel like that might be something that EA and not DICE should reply to, but that's hard to say. But let's jump into the answers. Starting off, we have an answer from Dennis regarding customization. We weren't able to get the customization system into the game for launch. I'm actually having artists and designers walk up to me today, showing me cosmetic stuff that they really want to get out there. I think we have probably the best looking clone troopers ever made, and I know players really want to customize them. I know I do. I can't really commit to a date just yet, but we're working on stuff and I believe it will change the game tremendously on all levels. Although no specifics, it sounds very good on the end there when he says that there's working on stuff and he believes it will change the game tremendously on all levels. So it seems like they have a significant customization system coming, and I'm excited to hear more about that and some more specifics closer to when it's ready. And then he's also responded regarding crates, which is something that obviously the game has gotten a lot of criticism for. He said that I think crates can be a fun addition as long as you don't feel forced to engage with them in order to progress. I feel like that's where the issue is with our game right now, and that's where we'll look to solve as quickly as we can. We're looking to add additional ways to progress your favorite character or class while allowing crates to be a fun thing for those who want to engage with them. So that sounds very good to me, because that basically sounds like crates will be moved to be kind of a side thing and not the main way of progressing. Something I said in my beta video, that crates shouldn't be the progression, it should be something on the side, but that you can still progress normally, and that sounds like something they are working to fix. And also mentions in response to getting too little crafting parts that if it looks as though the crafting parts aren't being given out quickly enough, we'll look into changes to fix that as well. And then we actually got a very promising answer regarding the squad system. I don't believe in just taking a feature from one game and tossing it into this one. We've tried it several times and it doesn't work that way. We don't have the same levels as Battlefield, our environments and what you expect from the planets we build are different, nor do we have the same game modes for the same reason. That being said, we're currently prototyping an update to our spawn waves that allows parties to stay together and spawn on each other. No timeline yet, but we'll let you know. That sounds kind of exactly like a squad system, and that seems to be what people want. That's my main gripe right now. I like the spawn wave system if you play alone, but it sucks that you can't play together with your friends. So if they could link together the spawn wave to your friends, that sounds very promising to me. In terms of how soon we can expect changes, Dennis said that it depends on the type of change. It's difficult to give you specific dates, but as we get closer, we will. The credit based on performance I mentioned in another question is a quicker change, while larger progression overhauls might take a little longer. It did say that the credit reward is based on 20% of your score, which I don't quite understand what that means, because if you get 10,000 score, you don't get 2,000 points. But some people have reported that you get roughly 5 credits for 1,000 points, which would mean 100 extra credits for 10,000 points, which is very little. Paul responded regarding communicating better with the community, and he said, "We're focusing more and more on finding ways to communicate with our community. This AMA is just the beginning. We're exploring things like what it would take to do a frequent video series, as well as having more of a frequent presence on Reddit and our official forums." And I hope they will live up to that, because this AMA was definitely a step in the right direction, and I hope that they will continue to host stuff like this, and even a video series just letting us know that we're working on that, we're working on this and so on would be very helpful. And then in one of the answers from John, he said that as we update and expand arcade mode, we'll be working towards making sure that players can continue to progress without daily limits, confirming that the daily limit to the credits will be tweaked or removed. They might still have that particular limit, but there will still be other ways to get credits and progress in arcades, which is something a lot of people have requested, and it's good to hear. They just gotta be very careful to not make it abusable so that people can just farm credits in offline mode. And Dennis also responded regarding Galactic Conquest and said that I played a ton of Galactic Conquest in the old games and I would love to bring it back. If we ever did it, it would have to be large enough and deep enough to belong in a Star Wars game in 2017. But yeah, I'd love to take a stab at delivering that at some point, we will see. So obviously no direct confirmation there, but the fact that he even replied to that question was good, because at least that means that it's on the table for the future at some point. And then ending the Q&A, Dennis said, "Big thank you to everyone who stopped by. I hope you feel the questions we answered provided clarity and hope going forward. We really appreciate the mods doing their best on a very short notice. The goal with this AMA from our perspective is to give you a look at where we are digesting the feedback we've gotten over the past week. We were incredibly saddened by the negative response from you, the community on Reddit, about the game. In fact, we hated it, we truly did, because we want to make a game that you love. We've made a really cool, fun and beautiful game, but it was overshadowed by issues with the progression system. We will fix this. Stay tuned for more specifics and details once they get set. We'll be sharing as much as we can in our blog, in our forums and here. We'll be around Reddit, so please be sure to tag us in posts you'd like to get dev eyes on. Thank you again, and may the force be with you, Dennis." And I actually think that middle part was one of the most important parts of these answers, because I truly do believe that the developers were extremely saddened by the response of Battlefront 2 on Reddit and other media, because so many parts of this game are fantastic, but due to the fact that the microtransactions, loot crates and progression system overshadow them, the good parts haven't really gotten the praise that they deserve. But this AMA does bring some light on the things that they are working on, and I think we can expect some changes very soon regarding things like credit gain after matches and so on. And I'm hoping that they will just keep their promise about communication. I think that is key. As soon as they know something for certain, that this is going to change and that is going to change, please let us know. Because as soon as they say, okay, we are fixing this, it's happening within a month, that calms people down, because you know it's happening. Whereas if you just have it vaguely, people will keep asking and complaining about it. So that's my biggest takeaway from this. Keep communicating, DICE. That will benefit you in the end. But that brings this video to an end. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.